What's going on, guys? Justin Fuller here, and I am in the city of sin, but at a brand known for safety. Here at Subaru of Las Vegas, we're getting them set up on the Lot 360 management tool, which means they're not only going to be able to track their keys, but they're also going to be able to track their cars as they float around the lot. So let's hop on in and show you how we do it. Alright guys, so if you want to start tracking your keys in your cars like Subaru of Las Vegas, the first thing we've got to do is set up a network. And the network typically consists of two things. On the outside of your dealership at light poles, typically we'll use what's called a solar gateway. And this allows this network to talk so that you can see those keys and cars as they float around your lot, over at your spillover lots, in your parking structure, whatever it may be, right? So this is what we use on the outside. It's cool that it's solar, so it'll hold about a month's worth of charge. So even if you don't get sunlight every day, you're still gonna be good to go. The great thing about these two are they don't require, a line to be ran. They don't require current. It's just gonna band clamp around your light pole, and that way it'll allow it to talk. So it's not gonna be invasive to set this up. Now, the second part we're gonna use to this is gonna be an interior gateway. Now, these can be plugged into like USBs, or they can be plugged into wall sockets. We typically will, hide these away and tuck them underneath desks. So it's nice and discreet. It's not gonna be an eyesore to look at. And these are gonna allow you to see on the inside of the building. So if keys get left in a desk, if they get left in a tech bay, if they get left at detail, right? Or even if you got cars sitting on the showroom floor, you're gonna be able to see that car is there, right? So using these two pieces of tech is what's gonna allow us to create that network to allow you to see your keys and cars. All right, guys, so you may be asking yourself, why am I sitting in front of a bunch of snacks in their break room? Well, the reason is that once you have your keys in your car stacked, you're probably gonna have some extra time on your hands because you're not walking the lot, hitting the alarm, looking for your cars, and you're not hunting down keys. So let's talk about the kind of tech that you're gonna be using if you're using TrueSpot to track your keys and your cars. So the first one is gonna be related to your keys. So this is the tag that we use. So it's nice and small, can connect up to key rings or whatever you're using. So whether it's 1 micro, whether it's a key track system like these guys are using, whether it's a super boxes that live on the windows, or maybe it's just a pegboard, right? So no matter what you're using, we can help you out. We integrate with pretty much anybody. Now, when it comes to the car tags, I have a couple options. The first being this red tag right here. It's a little bit bigger than you can obviously see on the key tag, and it's a little bit more powerful. You can throw this around the rear view mirror, or you can throw it up with a sun visor, so that way if you want to kind of tuck it up away, so while they're driving, or you just don't want it as visible. Now, if you're looking for something that's not as visible, I do offer a smaller teardrop tag as well. Now, this is gonna be, just a little bit smaller so you can tuck it away a little bit better, but moving forward, I am piloting something specifically with this tag, will be motion sensing. So if you guys have ever run into something where in the middle of the night you've had cars stolen, this might be an option you wanna look into as we move forward. Just know that I am piloting something related to this one. Now, I will say that both of these will do the same thing. So whether a car is out in the front of the lot, whether it's in a tech bay, whether it's at detail, whether it's just in the back and just came off a truck, you will still be able to locate your cars with both of these, right? Now, when it comes to the key tags, I do wanna mention that you do have something cool that you can do this, and that's the Modar version. So you're gonna be able to pull up your app on your phone and run a search for it, right? So I can search for any of these things with my phone in the app. However, if I'm looking for a key that got shoved in a desk or dropped somewhere, or left in a tech bay, but it's under a bunch of stuff, I'll be able to pull up Modar version and then use that to walk me literally right up to the key. So this isn't the kind of system that's going to get you within 100 feet of this key tag or something very vague. It'll actually take you right up to that tag so that you can find it. Now that we've gone over kind of all the different tags that we've got, let's talk about how to tag. So let's hop on in. All right, guys, so let's talk about how to tag a key and specifically a car using the app, right? So I've got my iPhone pulled up here and I wanna show you how easy it is. So I go ahead and touch the True Tag Management button. Now from here, it's gonna show you your inventory feed that lives, but I wanna search out a specific one, right? So I'm gonna go in here and type it in. So let me find this specific car, and we've got a 2020 Subaru Forester here. Now I've got a button specifically for the car tag and for the key tag, so it makes it very easy to use. So I'm gonna touch the key button, and then on the back here, I can either type in portion of this or I can use the QR code reader. So for the sake of this, I'm gonna use the QR code reader just to make life a little bit easier. So once it picks up my code, boom, now I've tagged the key, and you can tell because it's showing me a little key icon right there. Now to do the car, I'm gonna go ahead and select the car, do that same thing. You can either type it in, or to prevent that error, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that QR code, boom, now I've got both the key and the car tagged. If you needed to tag a spare, it would just add on a secondary key for you. So you can see it only takes a couple seconds to tag a key and a car. All right, guys, so here we are on Subaru of Las Vegas's app, right? So this is gonna be the app dashboard. So I've got my phone mirrored to the screen. Now I just wanna walk you through the home screen and then we'll look through a search so you can see how this works. So if you're a sales guy, you're a PDI guy, You're a technician that's working out of a bay. You're an inventory manager. You're a lot porter or a photo booth guy. All these guys are going to be able to use this to quickly find keys, find cars, get them pulled up, and get their job done, right? So that's going to be this first button, keys and cars. Now, earlier we talked about how to tag a key in a car, and you can do it from the app, you can do it from the dashboard, which I'll show you here in a minute, but that's this button right here. All I got to do is select it, go ahead and hit the search my stock number, my VIN, and then find it and hit the button that I want to connect, right? So whether I'm connecting a car tag or a key tag. So this first car, you can see keys already tagged, right? So easy enough to understand that portion. So let's jump back out of that. Dashboard down here is going to show you some different metrics that you have available to you, and when we hop onto the desktop dashboard next, I'm going to show you all of these different metrics, right? Now, recon up in the top right corner, just to touch on that quickly, we offer a recon tool, right? So where you can see your cars floating around the lot with our tags, not only can you use that for the sake of sales and all these guys, but if you want to transfer that over to your reconditioning process, you can use these to track your cars as they move through those steps. So the minute it comes off a truck, you throw a tag on it. It lands in PDI, it timestamps how long it was there. Then it goes to the next step. Maybe it's just going to detail, photo booth, and then land out on the lot if it's a new car, right? So it's going to give you those amounts of times it was in each step, so you can not only see that amount of time, but then the total amount of time it's taken from cars to go from the back of the house to frontline ready, right? So that's our recon tool. Now, if you're interested in that, you can do it with the tags or without. Obviously, I'd recommend with the tags. It just makes a lot more sense, but I'll throw a link up top if you want to learn more about that. I've got a little bit more detailed video, so feel free to click on that if you're interested, or just shoot me a text, call, email, and we'll go over it together. Now, let's get into running a search. So I'm going to go ahead and select the find a key and find a car. Now, immediately you have a search bar at the top, so I could either type in a stock number, a VIN, I can jump over to make and model, so let me click on that, and then from here, it's only going to show you what's available to you, right? So it's not going to show you all the possible options in the world, just what you have on your lot, because it's pulling from your inventory feed. So it's going to make it a lot easier if you're saying, hey, do you have any more Acuras, right? You can just tap Acura and go, yeah, these are all the Acuras I have, right? So I can do this with the customer right in front of them. So it just makes you way more efficient, and then not only will you know what you have, but then you can run the search and see immediately where they are, versus a lot of guys out on the lot go, well, let me pull up my website, see where it is, and then we'll have to find the key, and then we'll have to walk around and step, and now they've been on the lot for how long, right? Time kills deals. We all know this. So let's go ahead and just run. Let's pretend we're looking for this 2017 Acura right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that car. Now, immediately it's going to pull up and show me where the car is, right? So it's showing me that's out here on the lot, and then it's telling me remote lot center, and we're going to name that whatever you prefer. So whatever terminology best fits your dealership so your guys will understand it. Now, I'm going to zoom out here just so you can kind of see their main building is up here, and then down here is actually where that car is. So it's on their back lot, right? So as a as a sales guy right now, I might set my customer up for, hey, I can see that the car's in the back. Why don't I go grab that for you? I know it's kind of hot out, or it's dusty, or it's windy. I don't want you walking out there. Let me run and grab that, and I'll be right back, right? So I'm setting up great expectations for my customers, and I'm just taking better care of them, right? So let's jump to the next, right? Immediately I can see that the key is in the building. It says sales level 1 in their key track system. So now I know the key's in the key track, car's in the very back. So depending on the customer, they may want to walk with me. I say, hey, let me go grab the key. If you want to walk to the back with me, I already know where it's at. Or I could say, hey, I know that you guys are older, or I could see that it's really poor weather outside. Why don't you hang tight? The car's in the very back. I'll get it pulled up to the front door for you, right? So I'm already setting better expectations. I'm improving my efficiency. Overall, I'm just giving a better experience to my customer. So it's that easy to run a search and find where a key is and where a car is. Now, earlier, I mentioned the Modar version. So you can see the key is here. Let's pretend it wasn't in the key track. I have this button up here that says find a tag. I would be able to select that. And then from there, if I'm close to it, it'll give me that hot and cold, and I can walk myself right up to it using my phone, right? So I'm not actually at the dealership right now, so I won't be doing that. So that's kind of a quick search. Let's jump back out, though. Now, for the sake of these guys, they're not only tracking their cars, their keys, but they're also tracking their spares. I know a lot of guys, their spares live in like a back room that's not locked up, or they live in a file cabinet. So what happens? You go to find the main key. It's not in the key track system, or wherever you keep them. What do? You go grab the spare, right? So now you have the potential of the main key missing and potentially the spare key missing. So it's just one of those things you could run into, so why not track them, right? So that way, if somebody takes the spare key because it wasn't there, and then they showed the car, and then they left it in their desk, right? Now I'm going to sell the car. I found the main key. I got the books. Where's my spare? Now we're going to end up recutting that key to later find out that somebody just had it in a desk because we had no way of knowing where it was, who grabbed it, right? There's no key track system for that. So this is going to allow you to keep track of those main keys, those spares, and your cars, right? So I would recommend tracking all three, but, choose your own adventure, right? So now, for the sake of this, just to show you, I'm going to click on that car, and you can kind of see how this looks at. So it's showing me where the car is at. It's saying, hey, it's in the front lot in the west, so I can see that right up here. It's showing me where the car is at. I click this next button right here. It's going to jump over and say, hey, here's your one of your keys. It's in Iggy's office, so that's probably going to be your spare key, right? And then I jump to the next one. And that next key, actually they got both keys in Iggy's office right now. So maybe this car just came in and they're kind of getting stuff checked in and doing stuff with it, right? Or maybe they're in the process of doing something and there's a reason both those keys are living there. But I know to go to Iggy's office and ask, right? So I'm just going to be more efficient. I'm going to be able to find these things a lot quicker and locate the spares, right? So if I am selling a car, I got the books, got the keys, they came out of finance, and I'm trying to deliver this car. If I haven't grabbed that yet, man, how big of a bummer is it that your person's waiting around going, really? Right? So you can provide just a better experience overall. So that's how you can quickly run searches using this tool. Obviously, you can see that it pulls all of your inventory feeds, so you could just scroll through and find stuff. Of course, you can run the searches, search stock number, a VIN, or a make and model. So very easy, makes you guys very efficient. So let's hop over to the desktop version, and let's show you not only all of these things, but the additional things that you can do on there, whether you're an inventory manager, a sales manager, some of these higher level things. So let's hop on in. All right, guys, so here I am on the desktop dashboard for Subaru of Las Vegas, and I want to walk you through some upper-level management and other positions that can use this tool, specifically the desktop version, right? So over here on the left, I can obviously run my searches. Over here on the right, you can see all my inventory that's currently living out of that inventory feed that I can see. Now, let's just jump into a search real quick and kind of talk about a couple things. So I'm going to use this Colorado, for example, right? So immediately it pulls across, and I can see the stock number, the VIN, the pricing, the mileage, anything it would pull across my inventory feed, and then, of course, imagery if I have it. And then down here, it's going to show me where the car is at, the location of it exactly, and it's going to show me on this map that I can zoom in on and kind of see where that's at, right? So front lot, northwest, and it's going to show me on the map. And then the same thing for the keys, right? They got both keys here, and they're both living in the key track, so I can see that right there, and then I can see on the map as well where they are. Now, in here, additionally, I just want to point out a couple things. One, it's going to pull across some details, so if I'm pulling up a car, and my guys need a little bit of help, hey, I can get them some of this imagery in case it, the sticker got ripped off the car, right? So kind of notice that you have this as a sales guy standpoint if you're out on the lot. And then activity in here. This is kind of a cool one. I can, add a note, so if there was something going on with this car that we needed to know about, leave a note that, hey, this car, is headed over to such and such, and it's going to be at there for X amount of time, so I will know what's going on with it. Or, hey, there's an issue with this tire, or there's anything, right? You could include a note in here. Now, related to activities, there's some different stuff that you can do here. So if at any point, perfect. If there was an arrival or a departure, so if this car leaves the lot, it's going to timestamp, right? So this way I know when that car left the lot. Now, let's say that car left the lot and it didn't come back, right? So maybe somebody loaned it out, or maybe a sales guy took it home, or maybe the car got stolen, right? One, it's going to timestamp, but two, I'm going to be able to tell that. And I can go to the dashboard and see that. If I jump over here in my tiles, I can come across, and one of my tiles is called Last Sightings, and I could click on it. So for right now, these guys don't have any vehicles that haven't been seen in the last 24 to 72 hours, but if I did, I could click this and it would populate a list for me, right? So for the sake of this, we'll click on the 4 to 24 hours, right? So it populates this list of items that haven't been seen in that amount of time. Now from there, I could immediately go with this list, and these are manual entries because they're specifically probably license plates, right? Or something that they've tagged other than a key or car, which, reminder, you can tag things like golf carts, jump boxes, temporary tags if they seem to get misplaced or lost. So know that you can apply this a lot of different ways. But for the sake of this, I would have this list of, let's say, these vehicles, and what I could do with that is go, okay, what's going on with these? Do we have loaner paperwork on them? No? Okay, who worked the last deal? Is there something going on that we know about? Or, hey, did these get stolen? We can start, putting this together really fast, right? So this is going to help out your staff when it comes to last sightings. Now, if you want to go one step further, I could come into the back office, go to user accounts, and as a sales manager, come down and go, all right, well, why don't I just select all my sales managers in here? And when I get to them, what I can do is select this person and go to this missing vehicle alert, so that every morning this sales manager, if this was a sales manager, right, would get an email of a list of cars that haven't been seen in the last 24 hours. So this way, they immediately get it in the morning, they sit down, opening duty, bam, let's check it. Do we have loaner paperwork on it? If not, why not? And then, is there something going on in this car? Or did it potentially get stolen overnight if theft is an issue at your dealership, right? So immediately you can apply this to an opening duty for a sales manager. Now, let's talk about at the end of the night how I can use this as a closing duty for a sales manager. Now, if I'm on vehicles, so I'm going to switch this over to keys, and then where I have my accounts on here, you can actually switch this to pins where I can see where stuff is sitting. Now, I'm going to zoom in for a second here. Now, on here, at the end of the night, if I see that there are keys sitting out on the lot, I can safely go, hey guys, everybody's inside the building. Why do I have keys out in the lot? Chances are, key fell out of a pocket, I left in a car, something is going on with that key. So at that point, I can then, click on them, find out what's going on with that. So this specifically is a manual entry, so my guess is one of their temp tags. But if it was a stock number, I can immediately hand that off to a sales guy and go, hey, take your phone out there, we're in the app, get this stock number, and when you get out there, when you get close to it, use your Modar version and find this key, because I think it fell out of someone's pocket,
right? So this way I can better manage my assets at the end of the night. So it's really going to help make sure that all the keys make it back into the building and they're living in the key track or, over a detail where they need to be or in service where they need to be, right? Just depending on if you're using this for sales or service or both. So opening and closing duties, fantastic way to use this. Now, from a third way that you could use this as a sales manager, let's say I have a guy, and I'm going to run a search here. Let's say he's specifically on a Subaru Forester, right? And I know that while we're working these numbers that I might have to flip this guy to a different trim level. So for the sake of this, let's pretend he was on a touring and I need to flip him down to a premium. So what I could immediately do is go over here, right? And I'm going to flip this back to vehicles just to make sure I'm on vehicles, right? And now I can immediately send my sales guy and go, hey, I can see that I have this other one that we might be able to flip him to. So, okay, keys in the key track, perfect. Car sitting right out front over here on the left side. Hey, Dave, while I'm working these numbers up, I need you to grab this stock number, go grab that car and pull up to the front door. So that what happens is when we go to present numbers, now I could go, hey, I can get you to this number on this car, or if you really need to be at that certain budget, I could do it on this trim level, and I've actually got it pulled up to the front door if you want to take a look at it. So I can do either one, what works best for you, right? I'm immediately providing a better customer experience, and I'm cutting down on that time that I would waste because we all know time kills deals, right? So just different ways you can apply this as a sales manager, right? Now, let's talk about your inventory manager because they're going to like a lot of these tools, right? So up here, I've got all these different tiles that show things like, hey, of my pre-owned keys, how many are tagged versus the total and how many remain, right? That's always cool because then I can see, hey, I still have 33, pre-owned keys that haven't been tagged. What's going on? Hey, let's get a list of them. Boom, show me a list. I can export this. What's going on with these, right? And the way it's able to do that is because it's pulling across from your inventory feed. So you can do the same thing for new keys, your pre-owned cars, your new cars. Now, photo status over here. I'm just going to touch on this for a second. If you've got a photo booth guy, let's say it's a third-party guy, he doesn't need all of this, right? He just needs to know, hey, I need to know the 93 remaining vehicles that I need to take photos of. And he needs to be able to click on them and quickly find that key, quickly find that car, and get those pictures up to make him more efficient because we can all agree that as a used car, especially, if you don't got images up, the chances of you selling that car drop off dramatically. So that's who also can use this, right? Now I'm going to come across here and talk about a couple other features. First is days in inventory. Your inventory manager is going to love this because I can click on this, right? So let me take off this needs this and go, okay, I've got 7 vehicles that are 60 to 90 days old. All right, well, I want to know where these vehicles are. All right, well, I've got 3 up here. This one's sitting way over here on the side and it's not getting viewed. Well, let's make sure they're all up front in a high trafficked area so that I can sell these vehicles. They're sitting on the lot. They're costing me money. I need to keep them visible, right? So a fantastic way to use days in inventory. Now, a different way your inventory manager can use this. Let's say that I have a specific incentive running, right? So I'm going to come down here and go, all right, I've got a specific incentive running on my Subaru accents, right? So I want to click on this and go, where are they at, right? Show me where my accents are, right? So for the sake of this, okay, I've got this one sitting over here. I want to move this car, or I want to move, all 10 of them up to the front because I have a specific incentive that allows me to make more gross on these cars. So I want them to be out in trafficked areas to where I can work deals. Maybe I want to put hang tags in them or whatever I want to do to kind of, build up that traffic and get these sold because I know I can make a better deal and I can make more money off them. So a great way that you can use this from that standpoint. Now, a different way that I could apply this. Let's say that I want to jump out of this and I'm going to go to Foresters for a second, right? Let's say that I want to say, hey, where are my Foresters at? Are they keeping nice, tight, and stacked up together? Because as my sales guys are out there, I want them to be able to show this Forester, but I want to be able to walk them down the line of other Foresters. So if I've got one miscellaneous one floating in the back, why? Why isn't it up front with the rest of the Foresters so I can keep my lot nice and tight and organized, right? So days in inventory, I can push cars up to the front that need to go. If I have specific incentives, I can make sure they're all in traffic areas. And then lastly, I can just make sure the lot is organized, right? I want all my Subaru Foresters sitting in a row. I want all my Outbacks sitting in a row. I want to keep, cars where they should be. So from an organizational standpoint, I can view all of these things on this dashboard and then send my, my porters to work to get things moved around because I can export this list and go, hey, here's a list of these cars. I need to go grab the keys, move them up the front with the rest of them, right? So it's making everybody more efficient. So just different ways that you can use this tool up here as far as managing from one, a sales standpoint from your sales staff and your managers to an inventory standpoint. And then your photo booth guy, if you use those third-party vendors that are going to be helping you out to do different things. So that's kind of how the dashboard works and some additional features that you have that you can take advantage of and ways that you can use this.
All right, guys, so hopefully that gives you a good understanding of how the Lot 360 management tool works, not only on the app, but of course the dashboard as well. So I think we can all agree that this not only works for your sales staff, making them more efficient, but it's gonna work for your PDI team. It's gonna work for your detail team. It's gonna work for your lot technicians. It's gonna work for your lot porters, right? Your photo booth guy. And then on the upper level management side, your sales managers can use this for opening duties and closing duties. They can use it if they're flipping, customers and they're desking deals. And then your inventory manager can use this as far as pushing old age units out to high trafficked areas. Or maybe you got incentives running and you want to push cars that have higher grosses on them, right? Or maybe they just want to make sure the lot is well organized to where all your cars are lined up like they're supposed to. So overall, we're going to cut down on costs for you as far as those lost key costs. We're going to eliminate all that wasted time searching for keys and cars. And then overall, we're just going to give a better customer experience for anybody who's talking with your customer base, right? So if you have questions, comments, concerns, down below, I will put my contact info so you can always reach out to me. You can give me a call, a text, an email. Now, if you want to set up an online demo to talk more about your specific store, I'd be happy to do that. So down below also, I'm going to put my link to where you can schedule a demo with me. And that way we can go over your store. Maybe you have a parking structure, or maybe you have off-premise lots that you want to talk about, or whatever makes your lot specifically unique. So feel free to reach out to me, give me a call, text, an email, set up that online demo. Other than that, I want to say thank you to Subaru of Las Vegas for working with us and trusting us and reaching out and partnering with us and allowing me to do this. Other than that, I appreciate you tuning in, guys. Let me know what questions you have. I look forward to hearing from you, and later, guys!